Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joey Andron with Simply Vegas and the Chuckets Group, your Las Vegas Realtor. Today is May 4th, 2023. Today, guys, I just want to jump on here and give you a quick market update for the Las Vegas Valley. But before we jump into it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do and hit that like button. I truly appreciate the support. All right, guys, so I want to pull up the MLS because I want to show you the real data. Now, I know you've probably been on YouTube watching all these guys on there just talk about the Las Vegas Valley, how much trouble we're in, the market's tanking, buyer beware, don't buy a house, home builders are in trouble, you can't do it, wait until 2025. Well, look, guys, I'm going to show you the real data and you guys can make your own decision. All right, so let's just jump in here. This is the MLS. I had this already pulled up for you. This is the month's supply of homes here in the Las Vegas Valley. So the supply here, as you can see, back in 2022, we had an all-time low of 1.2 months. Now that's just over 30 days of inventory. What does that mean? Well, that means that if we never listed another home after that particular day, it would only take just over 30 days for all the homes on the MLS to sell. So and that goes across all property types. So not a lot of inventory, especially when you start putting in these criterias, right? But as you can see, we jumped up. A lot of people started panicking when the interest rates started to hike, or there was chatter that they were going to hike. So everyone rushed to list their house because they wanted to lock in those lower interest rates. So we hit an all-time high over here. Well, I wouldn't say an all-time high, but a high from 2022, which was 4 months of inventory. And then, as you can see, as the interest rates started to go up, sellers were like, whoa, wait a second. So that means if I sell my home and I already have a 2.99% interest rate or potentially lower, I have to jump into a 6.5% or maybe even a 7% interest rate? Absolutely not. So they started to pull their properties off the market. And as you can see, our inventory just steadily declined. So in April, this is 30 days behind, guys. So this is April, or actually, this is going to be 60 days because we just entered into May. So in April, we're at 2.2 months of inventory. Not a lot of inventory there, guys. So what is that going to do to home prices? If there's low inventory and there's still a demand, well, it's going to stabilize prices, right? If there wasn't any demand and we had a lot of homes on the market, then we would see that trajectory just completely nosedive on the prices here. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump into the entire MLS. And this is going to show us some really good data here because we can really break it down based on criteria. So I like to look at single family homes here, and I'm going to go across all price ranges. And let's look at previously owned. These are going to be resale homes. And we're going to look at 1,501 to 2,000 square feet. And we're going to look at the common house size is going to be 3 bedrooms here. So as you can see, again, 2020, our median home price for that criteria was $280,000. And look at this graph. It just goes all the way up, steady, increase. Here we peaked around $425,000. Now look, even when the interest rates were going up, we were still climbing as far as price point. 423 went $425,000 for this price point, or excuse me, for this criteria in January. And we started to taper off a little bit. Now we're at $415,000. What does that mean? Well, it could mean a lot of things. Affordability for some people. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. Houses might be staying on the market just a little bit longer, but we're going to dive into that to look at this together. Now, I haven't looked at any of this information yet. This is the first time I'm looking at it with you guys. So I'm going to be surprised just like you, and we're going to kind of talk through it and figure it out. But we're at $415,000 for this median home price. It's not a major difference. You're at $10,000 price reduction. Is that something to be worried about? I wouldn't say so. I mean, compared to where we came from, 280,000 to 450,000, I would say we're doing pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and jump and look at 2001 to 2,500 square feet. We were hit a high of 502,000 and we're at 497. So again, what is that? $5,000? Nothing to be worried about there. And as you can see, even through last year in 2022, we were at 442,000 to 400. We're at $460,000, and in May 470. So as you can see, this price just kept going up, and now we're kind of tapering off, which is okay. I think that's a healthy thing to do in this market. I like to look at new homes, new construction as well. Look at this. So for 2001 at 2,500 square feet, we're at 480,000 for that median home price, and here we peaked at 485,990. So again, only $5,000 is a price reduction. So you see where I'm going with this now. I wouldn't really be worried about it. We had a major price increase from way down here in February, 410, and it's shot up to 485. That is sticker shock. That is crazy. I worked with a lot of buyers, and we, even with the lower interest rates, we were trying to figure out affordability and where these prices were going. So, and even with the builders, you had to overbid. So if they offered a lot premium that was 20,000, you had people going in there that were offering $40,000 for these lot premiums. So a lot of people were overpaying for these lots just to get a house and to lock in that lower interest rate. So you kind of have to ask yourself a question. If you didn't buy a house last year, are you in a better position now compared to then? Because if you were to come out of pocket an extra 20, 30,000 or $40,000 to overbid on a house, would you rather buy a house that you are at a slightly lower price point? You didn't have to overbid. Your interest rate might be a little bit higher, but you could always refinance that house later. So me personally, I would rather take advantage of the incentives that the home builders are offering, because right now a lot of them are offering closing cost incentives, some upwards to 6% towards closing costs, where you can use 3% for your closing costs, which are typically cover all of them, and then the other 3% to buy down that interest rate. Now, there are some home builders that are offering already a 4.99% interest rate. That's great. So if you can get a discounted home price, some incentives, and the closing costs, I think you're winning compared to last year, in my personal opinion. But you guys have to make your own decision on that. So let's go ahead and I want to look at foreclosures, because I get a lot of phone calls that people are looking for foreclosed properties or short sales, and they think that this market's going to be flooded with this. Now, I kind of know the foreclosure side of it because we get auto emails, or I set myself up auto emails every time there is a new foreclosure that hits the market. And I can tell you they're very few and far in between. So here we go. Look at the foreclosure data. Let's go to previously owned and look at this. Look at the price points here. We are pretty steady Eddie right here. So look at this, June. I mean, they even went up in price from from January to March. And now we hit a high of $501,000 for a foreclosed property. That's 2001 to 2,500 square feet, 3-bedroom. And now we came down to 480,000. So $21,000 we came down in price, but I think that's pretty fantastic. That just goes to show that the banks aren't giving these properties away. They know that there's low inventory, and they know the value of their homes. Now, if we rewind to 2008, when we had like 20,000 properties on the market, the banks were just giving these things away. You could actually come out here and buy a house for like $30,000, $25,000, no joke. I wish I would have done that. I would have been pretty well off at this point. But you know, the banks are not giving away these properties. They know the value. So keep that in mind. If you're waiting for this market to crash, it's not. There are too many investors. I get phone calls, probably 3 to 4 phone calls and text messages every single day from wholesalers looking for properties that they can buy and rehab and flip. So that has to tell you something. And when I say that's a consistent basis, 3 to 4 is probably on the low side. My whole team, we get flooded with phone calls from these investors looking for these types of properties. So if you're on the sidelines, don't wait. If the numbers make sense and you like the house, make an offer. You can make a crazy offer. It's only a starting point, right? But look for the opportunities and look for the deals. Don't wait for this market to crash, because if the interest rates start tapering off, the home prices are going to start going back up, and there's going to be a lot more competition back in the market. So keep that in mind. All right. So let's go over here and let's look at are previously owned. Let's look at traditional sales, and let's look at days on market. So here, look at this. 2021, 2022, 7 days on market was the average days on market for a resale home, 1,501 square feet to 2,000, 3-bedroom. And now we're at 15 days on market. guys, like if a house stays on the market for 30, 45 days, even 60 days, that is a healthy market. So a lot of sellers that I work with get shocked when they're like, wait a second, what's happening to the market? Why isn't my home selling? Well, this is a healthy market because people want to shop around. They want to see what their opportunities are. And again, with those high interest rates, people need to figure out their affordability. So once we figure out that even balance where buyers are comfortable, sellers are comfortable, or they're pricing their properties accordingly, homes are going to sell. And 15 days on the market is pretty darn quick, if you ask me. Now let's go ahead and look at this one here. So we're 18. Now let's look at $420,000 or more, still only 17 days on the market. So I don't know, guys. I like this, and I like this information. And take for what you will. You guys all have to make your own decisions. But if you guys want more information about the real estate market here, you want to sit down and have a buyer consultation, I'd be more than happy to go over all this information with you and give you all of the opportunity, or present all the opportunities that are here in the Las Vegas market. One of the things that I read this morning that I'm going to pull up here was pretty promising. The Fed raises interest rates again in what could be its final attack on inflation. So this is really good news. So if we see that this is going to be the last rate hike, and they raise these rates a quarter point today, I believe, again, that's going to start bringing interest rates down. There's going to be a lot more affordability. Buyers are going to have a lot more confidence in the market. But again, the home builders are going to start taking away their incentives, and sellers are going to start raising their prices again. So just keep that in mind. Nobody can ever time this market perfectly. It's very, very, very difficult. Not even the pros can do it. There's so many variables that happen with this market. That's why I say, if you find a home that you like and the incentives or the price point or the interest rate makes sense to you and your family and it's affordable, you need to take a serious look at it. This market, and every market and real estate in general, is so cyclical. It has the ebbs and flows up and down. So if you're not an investor and you're not looking to flip a home and you're looking to stay in that home for the next 5 to 10 years, real estate's a long-term game. You will be protected. Okay. You make money on the buy side, so make sure you're buying the property right. And the interest rate can always be refinanced. There are even some lenders that are doing a recast, to where if you do buy your home and within the next 30, 60, 90 days, the interest rates come down, some lenders will actually recast it and refinance you at no additional charge to that lower rate. So guys, there's a lot of ways to purchase a home, and there's a lot of creative ways. So like, again, if you want more information, I'd love to sit down with you guys and give you all the information to where you can make an educated decision. So all my contact information is below. Make sure you reach out to me. I would love to help you and your family with your transition into Las Vegas, or potentially out of Las Vegas. So look forward to hearing from you guys. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video.